conservative women who approach things from different angles, but usually get to the same end, not always. Also, we've got Walt Heyer coming back on. He's a guy that went through gender reassignment. He went from male to female, back to male now, and he is having an issue trying to get his birth certificate changed. Maybe they should just do it in crayon. It might be easier and faster. Also, the attorney for the jailed Arizona pastor will be in to talk about what's going on with his client and what that's all about. Also, Andrew Gauss, Ron Paul's oh no, it gets better. Andrew Gauss, he's the one who put up Ron Paul's request to audit the Fed, which I think is great, and the Congress has voted overwhelmingly 327 to 98. So we know it wasn't all Republicans, don't we? 327 to 98 to send the measure to the Senate, where Mr. Reid will stick it in his pocket and go play pool for a couple of months, I'm sure, because we're still waiting for a budget. What, 3 years? They can't even find time to put the budget up there. But they can find time to make false accusations against people. That's your Senate, people. Anyway, and then Father Frank, I should know this. This is an Italian name. It looks like Pavoni. What are you laughing for? Is that right? No. Okay. He's the national director of Priests for Life. It's a Catholic organization that's been on the front lines of the pro-life cause for the last 20 years. They are going to defy the Obamacare mandate. So I want to be there with live cameras watching them as they pull these guys out of the church in handcuffs and drag them off to jail. Also, David French will be on from Vanderbilt University. They've instated a policy that requires religious student groups, ready for this one, to accept leaders regardless of their faith, even requiring Christian groups to allow atheist leaders. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so I have to talk about what? What are you looking at? I don't make this stuff up. This is real. So, all right, ladies, you know who David Caruso is?
I think I dated him once. Just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it, but he was the redheaded fella that was in like CSI and a few of these other. Yeah, you know who he is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you ready for this one? Would you have dated him? I mean, good-looking guy and all that.
Not really my type.
Maybe not. Okay, so David Caruso, he's accused of drinking beer while driving through a sobriety checkpoint. Okay, so drinking and driving is against the law.
Yeah.
But driving through a security checkpoint with a beer in your hand is just plain stupid.
Hey, did you hear? I saw the story today that someone called 911 and asked for a ride to the liquor store. He got arrested, but at least he was trying not to drive drunk.
Oh God.
The cops had to laugh at that one. Drinking beer through a Sprite.
So where are you? I'm in my car at the corner of Main and Elm Street. There you go. I ran out of gas, so I need a ride to the liquor store. That's what David Caruso, 51 of Vernon, Connecticut, is accused of doing on July 23rd. Police say Caruso, no relation this is no relation to the CSI Miami star, had the same name. That's why it made it in the news. Approached a checkpoint, and officers immediately noticed that he was drinking a beer while operating the vehicle. Caruso was also driving on a suspended license. Oh, come on. We're going to come up. This is a 3-time loser,
And
right?
he was so
All right,
sad.
ladies, here's your next date. Okay, a license. Well, come on.
Poor David Caruso, the actor, though, because that's
I
really
know.
embarrassing. It's not even him, and people are going to know. It's so
All right,
sad.
come on. Who wants to win the dime? His license was suspended for a previous what charge? Come on.
DUI.
Yeah, drunk driving charge.
How did I know that?
This guy's a brain surgeon.
Good guess, Gabby.
There you go.
Do I win the dime?
Yeah. Okay, so he was charged with drinking while driving. Well, that was hard to do. Illegal operation of a motor vehicle while under suspension and operating an unregistered motor vehicle. Oh, God, this is great. So he was released after he was posted $2,500 bail, which left him enough money to still make it to happy hour. Anyway, so
Priorities.
I can't believe this stuff. You know what? It's just you show up at a sobriety checkpoint, at least dump the thing in the back seat and say it's not mine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not advocating
I was
lying,
holding
don't
it
get
for
me
a
wrong,
friend.
But yeah, there you go. Who got out at the last intersection? You can go find him if you want. I'll wait here. So
My imaginary friend.
So today, okay, we may have to go to commercial early. Today, Women of the Right View on with me today. I have Kathy Keller with me. She's I'm not even going to tell people where you're sitting. In studio with me is Kathy Keller, Andrea Nelson, and is Sue on the line? Sue, you there?
I am. Hi, ladies.
Good.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Yeah, Kathy was laughing at the Walt Heyer story a little bit there. Remember the Snoopy man?
No.
Oh,
Aw, be nice.
No, oh,
he
not another one.
he said he lost his Snoopy in the first gender switchover, and that he was having a hard time getting it back when he was trying to get reassignment. So that's good. What? This is true stuff. I'm not lying. All right. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about today, ladies. I don't even know what we're going to get to or not get to, but I know I'm going to have a lot of fun.
I want to know what blogs you subscribe to even get this
I
stuff.
know.
Because who finds this stuff?
Well, one of the ones I go to on a regular basis is the Huffington Post News of the Weird.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And there is some
Those are
freaky
funny.
stuff on that one there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we've got a couple here. So what is this about rich people taking from the middle class? Okay. So we're gonna deal with this. Obama called Romney Robin Hood, right, in reverse, which is I don't even know how he got that out without a teleprompter, but he called him Robin Hood in reverse. How many jobs? Why are you laughing? So Obama's labeling his opponent Mitt Romney tax plan as a Romney Hood, saying it takes from the middle class and gives to the rich. Anyway, speaking Monday night at a campaign event in Connecticut, Obama said the GOP plan is like Robin Hood in reverse. Obama says the Romney tax plan will give tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans while forcing middle-class families to pay $2,000 a year in additional taxes. Now, I'll let you girls run with this in a second, but what's so bad about this? I mean, Obamacare's taking $4,500 on the average out of a regular family's pocket. So I think if you're, to my poll, if you're voting for the lesser of the two evils, I'll go for the $2,000. That's a good business plan.
Absolutely.
So, Kathy, what do you think? You think he's stealing from the poor and giving to the rich?
Absolutely not. Mitt Romney has created so many jobs for people in this country. Let's talk about Bain Capital, Staples. I mean, how many jobs has he created to employ people in this country to feed their families? I'll tell you who the thief is.
You will?
Yeah, what was that in Robin Hood? Who was the king? The
He's a little short guy with a complex, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
What was his name? No, you're not
Harry
going there,
Reid.
right? All right, so Harry Reid.
Obama.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. There you go. So, no, really.
Friar
and-
Tuck. Yeah, that's right.
No, Friar Tuck was
no,
the
he's
big
the
guy.
Little John?
He was a good guy. I'm trying to think of the
Yeah,
king.
you guys, you know what? You're all over the place. Never mind. So, when we come back, I still want to talk
It's a
about.
little before my time.
I-
That's wrong. I'm just gonna just say.
Oh, rub it in now.
Oh, wow. This is bad.
It's like I remember the dinosaurs.
So, no, really. So, we're going to talk about.
I said Obama hasn't even read Robin Hood.
I agree with you. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to read between Mao and Lenin and all those guys, you know?
That's true.
No,
That's
right.
true.
I mean, Kathy said it. The biggest difference is, they're focused on small businesses.
All
That's
right.
it.
Well, I'm going to let you finish that when we come back. 'Cause we're going to talk about the trickle-down effect that Obama says does not work. You're listening to the real side, not the right side, not the wrong side, but the real side. I'm your host, Joe Messina. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm Corey Peck, principal of West Creek Academy in Valencia, and you're watching SCB TV, local television for Santa Clarita.
Escape reality at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia. Relax your mind in our tranquil solarium. Unwind during your VIP massage. Rejuvenate with advanced diamond tip microdermabrasion or choose from a variety of facial treatments. For a unique spa experience, visit the grotto where you'll enjoy a full body exfoliating scrub in an exotic setting. Schedule your escape today and receive a 50% discount on a VIP grotto experience with your next full service treatment at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia.
We're back. You're listening to the real side, not the right side, not the wrong side, but the real side. And in the absence of music, I'll still say this is, hey, I need that. It reminds me where I'm at. Yeah, so it's Christmas. Who gets here first? Anyway, you're listening to the real side. If you're hearing this music, as I am now, today is our Women of the Right View segment, where I bring in a bunch of conservative women to approach issues of the day, of the week, and just to prove to you that they're not Stepford wives. You remember, you know what? That's probably a little dated now, isn't it? A lot of young people don't have a clue as to what that means. I don't know. What do you want to call them? Robots? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, they do have their own minds, as you will soon find out, and they don't always agree lockstep with the Republican foundational beliefs. Anyway, I've got Sue Hartman on the line with us. Hi, Sue.
Hi.
Hi. We have Kathy Keller.
Hello.
Okay, and then Andrea Nelson.
Trying to forget about me.
Well, I'm blind in the right eye, so I didn't even know you were there. You could scare me if you moved the wrong way. All right, ladies, we were talking about the Robin Hood syndrome, it seems that most Republicans have, where they want to steal from the poor and give to the rich. And on the way out, we talked about, actually, I made the comment about the health care plan will cost the average American $4,500, where Romney's taxes, they're saying that Romney's taxes will cost the average American about $2,000, but really with all the cuts and what have you, that's a crock too. Because the average, what is it, 51% of the people don't even pay taxes. Or it's 49.
Well, first you have to have a job to pay taxes.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Most
Right,
taxes.
but even when you do have a job, most people don't pay taxes. They take the earned income credits, they take the child credits, and they actually end up getting more money back from the government than they actually pay into it.
Who's
What kind of
that?
sense does that make?
Who is that? What fairyland is that from?
Well, that's what you
Well, but no, I'm going to argue that those who help create the jobs, in the case of Romney, if he's focused on creating jobs and supporting small businesses, then he's going to put more people to work, and those people are going to pay more taxes. So at the end of the day,
Well,
the
Go ahead.
country benefits from a leader who can help to support small businesses, employ people. I mean, simple.
Well, remember though that according to most people, Bain Capital, they buy companies and close them down and sell off their assets. They don't put anybody to work.
And according to the Obamas, it's not rich people who create jobs. It's when government hires more teachers and the teachers are then happy and take their children out to dinner and eat at restaurants,
I love that.
that's what creates jobs.
Well, now wait a minute. He's got some logic there because when you have more teachers, you've got kids coming to school. They're giving the kids more homework, so the kids have to buy more paper and more pencils.
gosh,
and
here
then
we
those
go.
people have to go out and make paper.
And then there's more
What?
competition on the paper and pencils, so then the stores drop their prices and they
know.
give sales, and it really doesn't
But
result
then they don't
in
make
any-
as much money, and they have to lay off people at Staples.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just read where Best Buy is struggling because people are buying their televisions and electronic devices at Costco, and Best Buy is struggling now.
Yeah, it is. It is all about competition. And that doesn't happen in a non-capitalist environment. You can't have competition in
No.
a socialist environment because the government is setting prices, wages, and everything else.
Okay, and who's the government? This is what always cracks me up. They say the government. Who is that?
Well, it depends on where you're at. Look at right now. We've got. We were talking about this yesterday. We've got our governor. Governor Brain Surgeon, and he's looking. He's actually putting $1 billion in carbon. What do they call it? Carbon credits. The money they collect for carbon credits, or they're going to be collecting. He's putting that as a line item in the budget as revenue for the state next year when we haven't sold one yet. We don't know if we're going to sell any, and they're going to do a dry run because they're not sure they're going to be able to sell any in November, but it's already in the budget for next year. And you wonder why we should be cut off and allowed to be fallen to the sea.
It's terrible.
Because
California's
the economics of the left is from a philosophy of how they prefer the world to be rather than an economics of math and facts and history.
Okay, I'm bored with this. We're going to move on. Okay, I'm going to move on to the one that you girls were actually talking quite a bit about, but I want to hit up on this one. There was a piece going back and forth on Facebook, and there was a woman that complained about the men at one of the fitness centers staring at the women as they were sitting there and looking at the girls, the young girls, the older women, what have you. And what I thought was interesting about this was there were actually even some comments in there about that's just what men do. And don't look at me. Look, see the pictures? I didn't say that. Not me. So anyway.
Well, what was the thing? How are
let
they
me read
looking
it.
at
Well,
the
hold
women?
on
She
a second.
said,
So
she goes on, let me read her comment.
Okay.
All right. I wonder if it would be acceptable for me to take and post photos of the men who clearly cannot help but to ogle at our daughters nearly continuously while they work out at a gym so that they can be made uncomfortable as they make us. Ladies, girls, be careful and aware. I wish society in general was better at raising boys to be real gentlemen and not pigs. So appreciative of those who are doing so well at raising young boys and have and maintain good manners. I mean,
Well, how about raising your daughters to be modest and to? I mean,
how
hello,
modest
it's
can you
always
be
the
at the
men.
but how modest
I
can you
would
be at
agree.
a gym?
Yeah,
with
don't you
you.
think? I think boys
Absolutely.
have been really discriminated against.
I totally
don't you
agree
think?
with you.
If you have
Absolutely.
boys, it's-
Absolutely. And suddenly the boys are,
Jason's gonna get
the
out.
bad
Now's a good
guys.
time.
Listen, I mean, I
You
have
should love us.
boys and girls at our house, but I think the tendency sometimes when it even comes to discipline is to be harder on the boys than on the girls. And these days, I don't like it. The girls.
So the
you're
girls
right,
should
there's
pull back a little
modesty.
bit, but the boys should also have control, right?
Well, absolutely, both ways. And I think that teaching girls that when that happens, what to do or who to talk to, to process it and not to just jump on that as an opportunity. Look at this guy is making me feel so beautiful. Look at him staring at me, and then taking that as an opportunity to, engage in
How beautiful can
activity
you
they shouldn't
be
engage
in sweats? Sweaty and smelly and
But
dripping.
what's wrong with a nice compliment? I mean, really, for
Well,
somebody
but
to say,
okay,
"Oh, you look
what's a compliment though? Is what if they're just staring at the girls in that doggy way that they do?
Well,
nice?" Well, see that
I've seen it because I've had to stare back at guys when they're staring at my daughter.
really.
Well, and I think that girls
don't want me
sometimes
staring
can
back at you.
interpret it. I think sometimes girls can interpret a compliment in a way that was just meant to be a compliment, and they could interpret it as he's
Yes.
trying to.
You'd have to see
in my
the look.
pants.
You'd have to understand if it's a lecherous type of look or if it's just, say, somebody was just looking at an attractive girl. So what? I like to look at nice-looking men.
Me too. Sue,
No comment. Sue, you've been really quiet.
Sue.
Is your headset not
No,
working
I
or
have
what?
several things going on here. And one, honestly, I think the problem at the gym is more women that are there prancing and showing off than there are lecherous men that are oogling. And yeah, I think truthfully, daughters nowadays are not taught that it's not okay to, shall we say, lead men on. That seems to have become old-fashioned to teach girls not to do that. And I'm sure there are some oogling leches at the gym, but,
But what could you possibly wear in
throw
a...
water at them or something then.
Okay,
or join an all-women's gym. I mean, there are those options too. So you don't have to continue your membership at places like that if it makes you that uncomfortable.
well, as you ladies can see, I'm not one that frequents a gym, so I don't know how they dress there.
And you don't really know what the looks are.
Yeah,
Just according to this woman, it's all very one-sided.
Okay, so when we come back, I want to talk about gym attire. How's that? I mean, I've got pictures of 70s gyms. You can imagine what that must be like. What? Those shorts were
those
big.
are
You couldn't
short
see-
shorts in the 70s. Are you kidding?
Anyway, you're listening to The Real Side, not the right side, not the wrong side, but The Real Side. I'm your host, Joe Messina. Today, Women of the Right View. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, we're the Cub Scouts from Pack 575.
We have a message for you. Always be prepared.
Watch SCVT TV. 1, 2, 3. Cub Scouts rule!
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
Will they remember you? Everything is image, and you need your image on everything. For the most cost-effective solution, visit AmericanLogosForYou.com to put the name you choose on the things you choose. Advertise your company, promote your school, commemorate your family reunion. The possibilities are endless. Visit AmericanLogosForYou.com because everything is image.
I can't grasp why, but Bob's pitch seemed on target somehow.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but Bob was memorable.
I agree. Bob's pitch made the right impression.
Let's award the contract to Bob then.
Make sure people remember you. Visit AmericanLogosForYou.com because everything is image.
We're so excited to have
The Donut Inn on Soledad Canyon Road has a new name, California Bakery and Cafe. You still get the donuts, hot chocolate, and fresh squeezed juices, the sandwiches, croissants, and our famous tamales. But you'll also get cakes for parties, celebrations, and major events. Our unique bread baskets offer a one-of-a-kind gift, all with the personal service you have come to expect for the last 35 years. Get a cup of coffee and a Danish 24 hours a day. California Bakery and Cafe.
That's right. Welcome back to Women of the Right View. here on the real side, not the right side, not the wrong side, but the real side. I'm your host, Joe Messina. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate your time that you spend listening to the show. Hopping on the chat room, and you can only find that at therealside.com. You can find our classic podcasts, and you can also take the poll. I want to know if you're voting for the lesser of two evils in November. So take the poll. I'm really curious to know where your mind is at with all of this. Also, check out the website because it'll tell you what's coming up. It'll tell you, what topics are coming up, what guests are coming up. You can check out, like I said, the classic podcast and get involved in the chat room on the conversation. Today, Women of the Right View. That's where I bring a bunch of conservative women together to talk about issues that are in the news. I've got Sue Hartman on the line with me. You are there still?
Hi.
Good. You didn't need oxygen during a break. That was good. Oh, she couldn't hear anything during the break, right? Oh, boy, you missed a good one.
No,
Kathy
I missed
Keller.
out on all the fun.
Yeah, we're having a good time,
Yeah,
Sue.
and Andrea Nelson. And this conversation is not going anywhere near the crossroads I thought it would go to. So I'm the only one sitting. So here's what I'm thinking. I mean, you women really think that there's a more modest way to dress in a gym? I mean, short of putting burqas on everybody, I mean, what are you going to do?
An ugly T-shirt that's too big for you and some running shorts. I mean, that's what I do.
And so what if you wear like a workout clothes?
But what is workout? I mean, I've seen some work. Somebody mentioned it in the chat room. The volleyball team last year, the U.S. vol. I mean, is that workout? That's
See,
not.
it
That's
is
like
workout,
leftover cloth, isn't
but
it?
it gets carried away. I mean, workout. There's a huge, span of workout clothes. I mean, all the way to that. Yes, and some people do choose to wear that to the gym, and if they do,
All right, so
they should be aware that
okay,
men
so if you're
might be
wearing
watching them.
those, are you inviting aggravation, stares?
Well, I'll say what I said in the break. Now, a
Please
woman
do.
might not be. Jason was asking, is a woman asking for that? Is she asking for something? Asking for the stairs if she wears that? I don't know that she's necessarily asking for it, but she should be aware that men are visual and men are going to look at her. They're going to probably most likely stare at her. So if she's not comfortable with that, then she should rethink her outfit.
Kathy, you agree with that?
Well, I agree, and it depends on how long is the stare. I mean, come on. I mean,
Do we have to have a stopwatch now?
We've all run into.
We have a new line of
some
clocks now. Here, the acceptable stare moment. So you look and you hit the button.
I mean, I think there's a difference between a lech and just a man that's admiring something that he thinks is attractive. And I mean, I love it when my son said to me, "Mother, you look so nice. You look so nice in that dress." I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, but is he going to say the same thing to the 17-year-old girl he's trying to chase down the street?
Well, and that's nice.
You look
if
so
he
nice
does,
in that?
I mean, that's a nice compliment. Why is that out of line if he says
Yeah.
something like that to a
To her?
17-year-old girl?
Okay.
Right?
As long as
Depending where his mind's at.
as long as he's a gentleman.
Sue,
I've
you've
trained
Yeah,
been-
exactly. If he's a gentleman about it.
Sue, save
Yeah,
me.
I read an article once where a man said we should bring back the slap. And remember
The
the
what?
movies in the 50s, the women were always slapping the men. And it was sort of a way for women to let
Oh.
men know that they had crossed the line.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, see,
Ooh.
see,
I don't think that would go over very well.
they don't have to
I know.
respond. They just have to go whack at somebody. Is that what you're saying?
Well, how about you just say buzz off? I've used that before.
Okay. So, let me ask you women.
Buzz off.
All you women are here.
They usually leave.
And Andrea, you probably have younger friends, and Sue, you too. When no younger women dress skimpy or sexy, they know they're doing this, right? This is not a mistake. This isn't just because they think they look good in these clothes. That they know
Right.
that they're going to attract or cause people to look at them. Correct?
I think usually, yes.
Sue says yes.
I go to an all-women's gym, so
Did you choose?
and women dress, frankly, in maybe what some people would call skimpy gym attire too when they go there. I think they do because it's comfortable and they're going to sweat and it's cool and that's why they wear it, not because they're looking obviously for looks.
Well, I hope. Okay, I would hope not. All women's gym. Okay,
Maybe
and
so.
but because
could happen.
Yes,
Possible.
I was trying not to go down that road because that's probably another show for another time. But all right. So you're saying that women. I can't believe this. You three women are saying that the women could be more modest in a gym to keep the guys from looking at them, staring at them.
Well, I think
Not
you have to be
looking.
really careful about what. I mean, you have to decide what's comfortable for you, and what kind of dress you're comfortable in. And I think we should be careful not to be too quick to judge because somebody look at the women's volleyball team. I mean, they're out there working their hearts out, and they do have the skimpy clothes, but it helps them when the weather is warm. I can see that makes sense to wear that. But then the men are going to admire that, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I think it's just teaching girls to be aware and then to respond in ways that are appropriate. It's just about educating them.
Well, and I have often told young women that, you know, sweetheart, that it's not just the cute boys that are looking.
It's the dirty, disgusting old men. Is that what you're saying?
Right. They need to be aware of that.
Right. That's true. It's a really good point.
It's not just guys they want to look are the ones looking. It's the people they don't want to look are also looking.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it starts from a young age. I was looking for clothing for my 7-year-old granddaughter, and I could not believe some of the skimpy, little low-cut things. And I'm sorry. I just said, I am not going to... I don't approve of dressing little girls in very skimpy, suggestive clothing when they're just little tiny girls.
Oh, we did
young.
this. We did this for one of the. We did a show on this for one of the beauty pageant things, and one of the girls was really dressed very skimpily. And you know what the mother said? The girl was what, 3 years old, 4 years old, something like that.
She said she wanted it.
No, what she said was, "What's the big whoop? She's just little. When she gets older, I'll make sure she understands."
Oh, I've heard mothers. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and I've heard mothers say, "Oh, I can't help it. That's what they want." I said, "Excuse me. This is what I told my kids. He who controls the checkbook rules. I control the checkbook, and you are not going to dress like that."
I'm getting hot over here.
And we had.
We better move on.
Well, you know, and then one song was it was like along the lines of the stripper, where the girl she came out and she was dancing and shaking her little fanny all around the place, and everybody thought, but the people. Pretty Woman. There you go, with the cowboy boots and the hat and the short shorts and halter top and all that at 3 or 4. I mean, she's very young, 3 or 4 years old. Good way to, yeah. God forbid we should teach them.
Well, and here's the question. You know, one, it's about reality. My question for those women is, do you want a world where no men are interested in looking at women?
Because they leave nothing to the imagination, you mean?
No, I mean we're talking about a whole different dynamic here. If men are not interested in looking at women,
No, not interested in looking at, but you know, like she said, you want to leave something to the imagination. I don't need skin tight clothing to find you attractive.
Well, and that's
no,
another
that's not what
really
I'm
good
saying.
lesson
I'm saying the
too.
women who are complaining about it.
Because you know, for all you
dressing
young
that way
guys
and
out
then
there,
complaining.
yeah, gravity will eventually take over on your women. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
No, we do not know what you're saying.
In other words, I know, you know, some of these young guys that I've talked to. I always say to them, "Look at the mother. If you want to see what your girlfriend's going to look like in 50 years, look at her mother." I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Now you're crossing the line.
I don't mean it. Is your mother not an attractive woman?
Tammy is tapping her foot over here, and
Your
she
mother's
is
not attractive?
scowling at you in a major way.
I would stop while I was ahead.
Stop.
Okay, let's move on to the next issue.
We might be on the couch tonight.
So I can sleep well tonight anyway? Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so the bottom line is that contraception makes for healthier women. So it says in an article, healthier mothers and healthier babies, because pregnancy is an illness? Is pregnancy an illness?
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go. Susan's ready to take off already. So today marks an important, the other day marked an important milestone for women. It was August 1st throughout the country. Beginning August 1st, a key provision of the Affordable Health Care Act, also known as Obamacare, goes into effect, making preventative care more accessible. For those of you who don't understand what that means, that's keep you from getting pregnant. It's not preventative health care. It's preventative pregnancy care. And affordable to 47 million women. So apparently there's 47 million women today, or at the end of July, we're having unprotected sex. That's kind of how I take that. From this point forward, women enrolled in new and renewed insurance plans will be able to access a wide range of preventative health services without co-pays.
Excuse me, what about Planned Parenthood? Anybody can access
or additional
contraceptives.
out-of-pocket costs, right? So they have nothing into this. There's no investment whatsoever into this. So no longer will women be compelled to forego or delay needed preventative care due to economic hard times. This is all around contraceptive services. So why they keep calling it health care could only mean one thing.
I have a new word for it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, vomit care.
So the new...
Well, here's what's at issue is their statement
I
that
can't even finish this now.
birth control is healthier than not using birth control.
So going against the body's natural course of action is always healthier, isn't it? Anyhow.
Putting chemicals in your body is what they're saying. And here's the problem. I have tons and tons and tons of health side effects from abortion, from birth control pills, from all the different types of contraceptives.
Okay, hey, you got to put that on pause. I'll let you finish on the other side of the break. You'll see the real side, not the right side. Not the wrong side, but the real side. We'll be back with Women of the Right View right after this.
Hi, I'm Dirk Fisher, and you're watching SCV-TV, local television for Santa Clarita.
You chose the Santa Clarita Valley for quality of life, but you also need quality of health. In the last few years, Henry Mayo has dramatically advanced care for our maturing population, introducing life-saving cardiovascular services, achieving an advanced primary stroke center designation, receiving the highest cancer program accreditation, and developing new joint replacement and spine programs. In fact, Henry Mayo is now a Best Los Angeles Regional Hospital. Henry Mayo, helping ensure your quality of life through better quality of health.
Scratch Golf Accelerated, Santa Clarita's unique indoor golf training and fun center. We have great programs for kids and adults of all levels. Rain or shine, we're here to improve your golf game and have fun doing it.
It's great to practice with just the girls at Scratch.
We enjoy playing in the adult league at night. It's a great time.
And they make it so much fun for the kids too.
We love Scratch!
Come see us at Scratch.
And we're back. You're listening to the real side, not the right side, not the wrong side, but the real side. And with that music, you know you're listening to Women of the Right View, where I bring a bunch of conservative women together to pummel me during the breaks and to talk about issues of the day, the week, that really pertain to everything that what you're doing during the day, things that affect you on a daily basis. I have Kathy Keller with me here in studio, Andrea Nelson, and Sue Hartman on the phone. Sue, you there still?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you were saying before the break that we were talking about putting chemicals in your body and such for birth control. Remember them? Yeah.
Right. This statement that using birth control is safer than not using birth control. Healthier is healthier, I think they use the term. The problem is it's very difficult to compare apples to apples because the pro-abortionists at every turn fight against informed consent. They don't like women getting full disclosure, full information. And it takes a lot of research to get all the information, and it's hard then to compare it. So, you know, to say that, oh, the answer we have is healthier, and then we're going to block you from getting information.
Well, ladies, the problem I have is, look, let me read on for this for a second. It says, the new package of health benefits for women includes access to contraceptive services. Contraception is a basic part of a woman's health care.
Well, for many women, it is. I mean, if they've been taking it regularly for years and years, for many people, I would say that it is. I don't think for all women it is. I do agree in that it's not being presented in a way that's maybe necessarily fair and accurate. But for some women, it is an important part of their health care.
But in what sense? To keep them from getting pregnant, or because it helps with their acne? I mean, what sense, really?
To keep them from getting pregnant, most of them. If we're honest.
But a minute, how is prevention of a pregnancy health care?
Well, because if a woman does have a pregnancy when she's not prepared for it and knows that she will have a hard time caring for the child, it can cause depression. It could cause certainly other health-related issues that the woman could have avoided, I guess, if she took birth control. That's just my argument.
Okay.
That would be the
case.
Ladies,
Kathy?
Well, I think it would be interesting to have a gynecologist on this program because I think it's, I think that would be helpful because it's such a personal decision for all of us as far as whether to take hormone replacement therapy or whether, what type of birth control. And I think that's pretty much a personal decision, but it'd be interesting to have a doctor's point of view.
And I think all women are different, too, and recognizing that all women's bodies are different. I'm not built very well for pregnancy. If I got pregnant again, I'd be very high risk, and I've been advised to not get pregnant again.
But
because
are you the
it could
norm or the exception? Because really, this all comes back to when you start looking at all these things, I do not like, and I think it's disingenuous and a lie to put the emphasis on health care, because that's not the emphasis. The emphasis is to keep you from getting pregnant and have protected sex. Why do I have to pay for your birth control pill?
Well, that I don't agree with. And again, we were talking about this in the break. Kathy brought up that leave it to Planned Parenthood to play that role, and I agree.
Yeah, but they get your money. A good portion of their funding comes from your tax dollars. I don't want to pay them.
But that's different than what we're talking about now. I mean, this is because a portion of the money that Planned Parenthood receives is from private donors as well. It's not a huge percentage that, I mean, now we're talking about more money out of our pocket for, right? Correct.
But again, I want to go back to the argument should be against, not health care, but preventative pregnancy prevention.
No, the argument should be we vote in Mitt Romney in November and we repeal Obamacare. End of story. I'm there.
The argument should be nobody is looking to take away birth control. That's just not going to happen.
I agree.
Okay.
Am I in our?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
The discussion is a free market of who pays for it and how it gets paid for.
But the discussion needs to be honest and real. This is not
honest.
This is not about just health care. And matter of fact, I don't believe personally that the majority of the discussion is about health care. I mean, you can say that they couldn't handle a pregnancy. Then there are other contraceptive ways that they can take care of this. And it should be open. Again, it should be, you know what? It's not health care. It's to prevent a pregnancy.
But why don't you let the woman make the decision about what's her best
She
choice
can,
of
as long as she doesn't call it
prevention?
health care. Health care maintenance. This is not health care maintenance.
Okay, I think we're saying the same thing, but in a couple of different ways.
No.
I mean,
Before I get on a plane, I take those orange pills, that beef up your vitamin C and all that. That's preventative care. Okay, a woman who wants to take birth control pills because she wants to have sex without getting pregnant, that is not preventative health care. Having a baby is not a disease. It's not a sickness.
A baby's not a virus.
It's not an illness. Yeah, it's not a virus. It's not an invasion to the body because that's what the body was created.
Just kidding.
That's what the body was created for, correct? So that's the part that I'm and that's the part that I'm having trouble with.
The body nurtures the baby. The baby's not destroying the body.
It does stretch it a bit, but we can get past that. It's awful quiet in here.
I
think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the woman.
Everybody gets to make their own decision.
And I'm tired of the government just deciding. You know what? This is an opposite example, Joe. This is where we don't agree sometimes. When you try to make blanket statements for everybody, and when the government tries to do that, or when Obama tries to do that too, this is when I say no, because people need to.
Then
make their
prove
own
to me
choice.
from a medical, again, what you're saying when you push all the garbage away, getting pregnant is an illness. Because that's what you're saying when you say this is preventative
to my body,
maintenance.
it is.
But it's not. It's what your body was designed to do. If you don't want to become pregnant, you're right. That's your choice. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with anyone who says, I don't want to become pregnant. I want to take whatever precautions I need to take
that's
not to be.
responsible. I think
I'm
that's-
okay with that. But if
Okay.
she's going to come into me and say, I need this because it's preventative health care, that's bull. Flat out bull. In most cases, it's just because they don't want to get pregnant. And that's fine. That's an honest conversation. Say that, just like you did. I don't want to get pregnant again. I think it would be bad for my body. That's fine. That is not preventative health care.
You're on a slippery slope, Joe.
No, I don't
Yeah,
mind.
because
I
I
don't
think
mind,
for some
'cause
it is definitely preventative.
But that's the exception, not the rule.
No,
These
I
people, most of the content we see, it's built around preventative health care. Don't have the real conversation.
And get rid of Obamacare.
Yes.
Bottom line.
That's what we can all agree on, I think.
Okay.
That's where we should end.
Apparently, Jason agrees with you. You're listening to The Real Side. We'll be back in a minute.
Hello, I'm Captain Ed Colley. You're watching SCV TV, local television for Santa Clarita.
When I grow up, I want to help animals. When I grow up, I want to help animals. When I grow up, I want to help animals.
Santa Clarita is Southern California's entertainment destination. Just minutes from LA, Santa Clarita's year-round weather means you can enjoy year-round fun. Like thrilling coasters and water parks, premium shopping, destination day spas, fine dining, outdoor adventure, and major events such as wine festivals, golf tournaments, and the Cowboy Festival. Santa Clarita, always in season.
We're back. Listening to the real side, not the right side. Not the wrong side, but the real side. We're up on the wrap-up. Look, if you're in the chat room, we're going away in a few minutes, but you can keep the chat. I think we keep it open for a few minutes after the show. Today was Women of the Right View, where I had a bunch of conservative women around talking about the issues of the day. How you feeling, Jason?
Oh, I'm all amped up, Joey.
Are you?
No, I'm good. So you don't want to pay for birth control for other people?
No, I don't. Actually.
Okay.
Now I go one further than that too. I don't want you to tell me. I don't want you to put the dress on the pig and lipstick on the lips and say, here's your date. I'd rather you pull it all off and say, here's breakfast.
Okay.
I'm better with that.
More often than not, when people say that this is a financial argument, that they don't want to pay for it, I don't believe them.
No, it's not. For me, it's definitely a moral argument for me. I don't want to pay for your inability to make the right decision and the mistake that you made.
So the alternative then is to let the baby carry to term, to have the baby.
Yeah, give it up for adoption to families who have been trying for years to have babies and can't. That would be such a bad thing, wouldn't it?
I'm not saying that would.
And then on top of that, instead of people throwing it in the face of the Republicans that you don't understand the women's plight, you know what? George Soros has got hundreds of millions of dollars. There's people like him all over the place that would fund Planned Parenthood. Take their money. They are happy to slaughter a bunch of babies. They're good with that.
But because you see this as a moral argument, I don't think you get to choose. I don't think you get
No,
that right
I do.
anymore.
With my money, I do.
No,
I do.
You don't get to play morality with the other people's babies, other people's choices.
They can do whatever they want. See, that's where you mix it up. I don't have a problem with them going down to an abortion clinic and doing what they're going to do. They can do that.
Let me provide you some
we're
other
living
options.
in America.
Canada, Mexico, other options. If you want to move there,
they can move to Italy for all I care.
I'm talking about you.
No, they can go. That's socialism. Look, it's your heaven, man. It's socialism. They pay for it.
Joe.
They pay for it afterward.
5 seconds.
Yeah. Catch you tomorrow. Check out the website, realside.com.